What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. We're on Sanibel Island here in Southwest Florida. Beautiful day. It's a little fucking hot though, but hey, here we are. I've owned this bike, the 2022 Harley-Davidson Lowrider S in gunship gray for, well, at least 2 years, but I think we're pushing 2.5. No, 2 years. No, 2.5. I mean, Jesus, the time's just going too fast, guys. It really is. You know what? Let's just go ahead and let's go down that road I just saw. But anyway, I want to talk to you guys about, would I do it all over again? I mean, I've owned it long enough, right? I've put plenty of money into it, both maintenance-wise and cosmetic and performance. Let me clarify something though. Maintenance has been routine maintenance, no serious issues whatsoever. I did have a check engine light come on at one point, but kind of a silly thing that I learned about this bike is if you do burnouts and that front tire speed doesn't match the rear tire speed, it'll throw a check engine light. So if you have one, you don't know why, or if you plan on getting a bike, or a Harley specifically, and that happens, yeah, no worries. As long as that engine light isn't flashing, it's not the huge or the biggest cause for concern. But anyway, we're checking out this road as we're making this video, because looks like we can see water from here, so that'd be pretty cool. But would I do it all over again? Would I repurchase the bike for the same amount of money, put the same amount of money into the bike, and own it as long as I have? Damn, it is nice out here though, ain't it? So I'm not going to beat around the bush. The answer is yes, absolutely. But there are some buts in there, and I want to discuss those with you guys so you guys can take my opinion and make that onto or use that as a decision factor for you guys. So first things first is, yes, only if I was in the financial situation I was in then, okay? This motorcycle is by far the most expensive bike I have ever bought, and it is the price of a car. You know, I've been telling everybody on my videos how much I've spent, and clearly I spent too much, but you have to understand that I bought it in San Diego, where motorcycles are sold every day, all day, so they can jack up the prices some, but I bought it for $21,500. Time and time again, people are telling me they're getting brand new ones for $18 to $19. So good for you. Don't settle if you're looking at buying a lowrider. 18 or 19, people are getting them. Brand new, 0 miles on them. So make sure that you're not going above 19. Like I said, I bought mine in 2022, so the market was a little bit different too. So anyway, keep that in mind. But yes, I would have made sure, if I had to do it all over again, I was in the same financial situation, right? Because there's nothing like buying a toy but not being able to afford to put money into it, right? So that's number one. Number two, I would have spent my money differently at first. Definitely would have gotten the bags first. I got this one first, but the saddlebags, it took about a year for me to get them, and I didn't realize how nice it was riding without bags, or without backpacks, I'm sorry. Definitely would have looked at other options though. I went in and I rode the Lowrider S and the Fat Bob, the new style, which I think they discontinued. And I kind of just went with it, right? I think the only thing I wish I would have done prior to buying the Lowrider S is actually try to find me a Dyna. I loved the community, especially out there in San Diego, but that was involved with the Dynas, right? The bike before this one, and those things are fucking, you know, they're carbureted, they weigh nothing in comparison, and you can just goon on them, really. I still have yet to ride one. I definitely want to. But I wish I would have at least given myself that opportunity, because I didn't care about new. I just wanted a bike that I could put more miles on versus haul ass, right? Coming from sport bikes to this, So yeah, like today, I put about 100 miles on this bike, 96, right? I started my my trip thing, so I'm gonna be at over 100 miles, and I feel comfortable. My back doesn't hurt, my wrists don't hurt, so it definitely is a bike that you can put some weekend miles on and not regret a thing. I would have also done risers before the exhaust. So how I would have went about my money going into the bike definitely would have changed a little bit, knowing what I know now, what I wish I knew then. The only thing I wish this bike had was a little bit more technology. So I think the highest tech thing this thing's got on it is auto canceling turn signals, which is amazing, by the way. I don't think I would ever buy another bike unless, again, I get a Dyna that doesn't have that. Because time and time again, you know, you see it all the time. People forget to turn off their blinkers when they're riding, but that's cool. It's cool. It ain't no big deal. The biggest factor into if I would have, starting from nothing, gotten this bike again would be the money aspect of things, though. I know I keep beating that dead horse a little bit, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I love this bike. No regrets. It's just, you know, you pay for the name. I say that quite often. Because to me, Harley-Davidsons are not necessarily worth what they're asking for. Yeah, I mean, you get torque, but for $20,000, even if you pay 19, you know, or 17 or 18, you're paying a lot of fucking money for an engine and two wheels. You're not getting, I mean, you're not getting much of anything. And look at these new sport bikes. Look at these Japanese bikes where, I mean, you're paying the same amount, you know, and I mean, you could set up Apple CarPlay and you can do a whole bunch of things. Heated grips if you're up north and whatever. But this bike is very bare bones. And I actually made a video about how I love how bare bones this bike is, but I wish the cost would have reflected it. If they gave me the Lowrider S and the Lowrider ST and said same price, same everything, which one would you do? I would honestly go with the ST. 2 years later, I have finally changed my mind. I like the slim profile of the S, but you can just take the bags off of the ST and throw on some soft covers like I got, or you can just run the bags when you need them. So yeah, that fairing has grown on me a lot, and I think that if you're looking into buying a Harley-Davidson and looking at the Softail models, the best part about Harley is they let you test drive them. I never test drove the ST, and I wish I did. So that is my best advice, is make sure that you at least ride both the S and the ST before making that decision. I think that fairing looks really good now, and I can see the benefit to it. I get the shit beat out of me time and time again with wind doing anything honestly above 45 miles an hour. Obviously you can get the Memphis shade fairing, which was my whole plan, and it still is. All in all though, this motorcycle has never left me stranded, is, I mean, solid. So we're almost at 10,000. We're going to be doing a 10,000 mile review when that happens. We'll break down all the techie, how much it's cost me to own. I've kept all of my receipts for everything. And yeah, you can kind of just see the cost of ownership on top of purchasing the bike. Insurance, all of that. So make sure you like, subscribe for that. Because that will be coming in. Well, let's find out. And 440 miles, so it's coming quick. I also want to point out something, that I am a part of a few Lowrider S groups on Facebook and whatnot, and I just saw somebody hit 100,000 miles on their 2021 Lowrider S with 0 issues. And I mean 0, and I can kind of attest to that. You know, almost 10,000 miles. I know I'm not riding as much as some other people, but I'm definitely not just letting it sit in the garage either. The only thing that has ever happened to me was the battery died, and that was because it was shipped from California to Florida, and I didn't disconnect the battery, and I only did that because the alarm would go off like and I wasn't trying to take that bitch back out, in all honesty. So yeah, this thing has been rock solid. I know that the older Lowrider S had some kind of oil issue, oil something, I believe is what it's called. The 2022s did not, and newer. But I do want to tell you what I have been seeing. There's been a bad apple in some of these groups of bikes being shipped out, new ones, where they're getting 50 miles on them and the motor's blowing up. Very rare, but I'm seeing it on some of these pages now, specifically with the 2024s and 25s. And it's not very many people, but you know, they're saying like, hey, look, I got 10 miles on this thing, I drove around the corner and the engine blew. Luckily though, we have a warranty, so if you're buying new, I wouldn't necessarily concern yourself with that, because anything man-made could break. But just keep that in mind, you know, test drive the bike that you're going to buy. Yeah, just say, I want to buy this one specifically, let me take it for a ride before you sign your name on anything. Get through that intersection. So yeah, just careful, but they are honestly rock solid.